right, welcome back to the Sandy Hahn podcast. This is episode 42. And before I get started with my lovely group of friends here, a couple things I want to say. As far as the golf tournament, I am signing a contract to have that confirmed. It's going to be out at Leary Country Club July 17th, Monday, July 17th. Going to be a big party out there, so that'll be for the foundation. Looking forward to that. So
Say that date again, Sandy? Pete was talking.
Monday, July 17th. I'm going to be saying it every time I say it last podcast I did. I'll be saying every one of them. Get more detail out to everyone on that. It'll be on the website and keep talking about. And then there's, again, some T-shirts I brought for these guys. All right, hold on.
Dogs are home.
The dogs.
Over.
No,
Oh, you're fine.
real life.
Oh, yeah, it's live.
Is this
Tom
still
will
going?
like the dogs.
Do you want to, Tom, do you want one of the dogs to take your last
Yeah,
shirt?
right.
Let's get right.
Let's go.
Even seeing it was fun.
Live
The dogs are
Tuesday
here.
night.
Live is live.
Tom loves
I
dogs.
love dogs.
So the T-shirts. I brought some swag because you guys are always bringing swag. So
Boom.
Yes.
T-shirts, and I'm going to be getting those out to others as well, which I know said last time, but I've been not doing so good with that. But I'm going to get them out to everyone else who ordered some. So one thing before we get started, I want to talk about the last 4 days, which has truly been amazing, and it's literally just changed my life. And I'm going to get emotional talking about this and some other things with these guys throughout this episode. But 4 years ago I was given a death sentence, and literally thought that I'm gone. I was expecting I was going to be in a wheelchair by the end of this year. I was convinced of that. And all of a sudden, I've got I feel like a new lease on life, and it is just fucking life-changing. And I'm literally breathing difficult. Or not difficult, heavily, because I'm so excited because I fucking walked. I never thought I was going to walk again, and I did it. And the other day, I sent some video out to some people, and I did it again today. I walked several times back and forth across my room. Again, when you thought that your dad, and for the last, year has been so bad, and I really thought many, many days that I wasn't going to make it. And I was convinced that I was done. My death, I did not want to live. Literally, I understood why people would want to engage in assisted suicide. It was that bad, and I would never thought about that because I would never do that because my wife and my kids, I was going to be around for them. But I understood when you feel that shitty, I'm like, just end it. I don't want to do this anymore. But I kept coming back, and I kept believing that I could keep doing this. And that's why I started the podcast, which started so important to me and so grateful for people to come on. It means so much to me. So that's why I'm so thankful for you guys to come on. You make time out of their busy days, but because what it means to me, it just keeps me going. It's given me a meaning to keep going. So I'm going to keep doing a bunch of these, but literally everything has gotten better from just started. Supposed to be at the Super Bowl party last week, and I hurt my ankles horribly. I couldn't get up, couldn't walk. I was in urgent care last Thursday in my ankles because I thought maybe I'd broken something, and then all of a sudden it wasn't. I built my confidence. I worked out again, and then Sunday I just got up and said, I don't know what happened. I just felt something. And I got up and started walking. And then my wife got on video, my trainer got on video. And in the last 2 nights were the best I've slept. Well, night before last, it was restful. I didn't have deep sleep. And I didn't, but the thing is, I didn't use sleeping pills or melatonin gummies for the first time. And I just said, I'm just going to lay down and I rested good. Last night I slept deeply. It was fucking amazing. I haven't slept like that in years. So I got up so excited and I keep on this routine. And so I'm sorry I'm rambling, but it's just so exciting, and I can't wait to get into some details. These are some great guys, so I'll introduce them now. my little notes, I was trying to think of a clever title. And on this one, my title was My IRA Friends. Because they're all Irish. It's almost St. Patrick's Day. I'm Irish too.
Look what we have.
We got Jameson,
Old Gurgey. This is Tom Old Gurgey.
Jameson, we got Guinness, and it's Fat Tuesday. I didn't even realize that, but hey, what the hell? So we're gonna have some fucking fun, and they're just such a great group of guys, and there's gonna be a lot of stories coming out today, and we'll start with, I guess, I usually like to start with first impressions. I mean, everyone knows. Well, I got to introduce them first too. Okay, Tom Gurgey, Timmy Atkinson, Pete Powers, Tom Lawrence. Everyone knows Tom. This is his third time on.
Whoa.
He's gonna be like my Ed McMahon.
Yes.
Yes. And so, you guys, anything you want to say? I'm gonna delve into some stuff. But if you feel like anything you want to share before we get started.
Oh, no, I'm very happy to be here.
I appreciate it.
First time on TV. First time on TV. Just right down his leg. I'm really good. Hi, Mom. Hi, everybody. No, the whole thing. Yeah.
How about this?
I got a face for radio.
We'll start with, I usually start with people like, the first time we met, like, what'd you think of me? I'm always curious about that now. Everyone knows how me and Tommy met. Me and Timmy have known each other forever, but we'll still be interested to see, because there's a lot of, everyone has a different opinion of me from when they first meet me to when they eventually get to know me, because there's a lot of varying opinions, so I'll just chat about that. We'll start with Tom. Again, we've known each other for a while, but it's two St. Rayfields and kids.
Yeah, St. Rayfields and other mutual friends, Sarko and Healy and Phillips and all those guys, your Bowling Green buddies. But just, from the circle of Xander and Cole growing up together, our two oldest sons, playing some CYO sports together, and it's funny how things are full circle. Cole goes to Bay, Xander goes to Ignatius, and they get out of college and they're friends again, and just went on a trip to, we're supposed to go to Buffalo, and I think they ended up going to Detroit. Detroit for the game. So, for the Blizzard. So, been blessed, you get to meet parents through your kids. And that's why, I think all of us are so blessed right here. You become friends with parents because your kids through sports or academics or church or whatever it may be. So, and that's how we got to meet Sandy. And
that's how it goes with a lot of people.
Yeah.
But then we'll get into more detail. I shouldn't, because it's gotten a lot deeper with these guys. I'm going to get
through the last few years. 4 or 5 years.
Something. But before we get into that, we'll go with Timmy.
Yeah,
Known each other forever.
Yeah, so Sandy and I, of course, known each other since high school. Officially, I'm actually Liz's grade, thereabouts and stuff too. So we partied together in high school a lot, but that was kind of hanging out with a group that I hung out with. Sandy was like Liz's crazy older brother, and then from hanging out with O'Reilly and my brother and Yates and the whole gang and stuff like that too, from graduating from college and all the fun that happened there, and then from there it just, the you ain't leaving till you're heaving weekends out in Sandusky, with Mary Beth and stuff too. Remember those? That was some crazy ass times. So those are times where everybody's graduated from college, and then my mom had that house out in Sandusky, and we were out there. Like I said, we'd had the you ain't leaving till you're heaving parties, and you, Vetta, and O'Reilly came as the Rat Pack up in the boat at one time too. So we had the high school party times, and college kind of was a little bit of a break, and then post college when we were all single and having fun, and then everybody gets married and had kids and got to grow up together. So it's been fantastic, a great voyage and a true friendship.
And I've known Timmy and his whole family for a long time. His mom was just unbelievable, so much fun. she would just bust balls constantly. And I got along with her wonderful. A lot of times at the party, I'd be hanging with her, and we just shooting the shit. She was a
Margaret.
wonderful lady. To
Cheers,
all
Margaret.
his,
Cheers, Margaret.
to the rest of the family, of course, Mick, Michael, and Cecil. Sean were supposed to be on.
Yeah, weren't they just on a podcast?
They were supposed to be on, but then we had to reschedule. They're going to be on sometime soon. But again, the whole family is wonderful. So
Thank you.
and we'll go to Mr. Pete Powers.
Can you hear me? Sandy, so first impressions, I got to say we've had an involvement over the last 20 years. So my daughter and Sandy's daughter Isabel are the same grade. They went through grade school together, high school together. So I got to know Sandy starting probably in kindergarten with them. And when I say it's evolved is because I then got to know your close circle of friends, which is your Big G guys, with Tommy and Noter. And I saw how close you guys were. Then I got to know some of your neighborhood people, which is LeBenz and John Russo. And it just, you know, you always heard Sandy. And then finally, probably like 15 years ago, we went to the Cavs game. We rented a limo, and that's a story I'll touch on later if you'll let me. But
Go ahead.
anyhow, that's a story I may not touch,
No
but I am
filter.
telling the story about Veranda. That's 100%. I'm telling that story tonight. So when I say it's evolved, it's turned into something that I just appreciate. I'm like, when we text back and forth with our group, and then when you asked us, I was like, I almost cried. I was like, of course I'll be here.
Yeah.
So because of our daughters being so close in grade school, and even like when I go down to Miami, I make sure Megan finds Isabel to get her over to wherever we are, just to catch up. So no, it's been first impression and final impression are all great. Like I said, it evolved from our kids being in kindergarten to get to know you kind of more through your friends, and then finally 15 years ago with I think it was the Cahill brothers, you guys rented a suite, Mike and Jim Cahill, good friends of mine, and you got your partner Brady. We all got together for a Cavs game. That's when we started hanging out. So anyway, it's been great, and I can't tell you how honored I am to be here.
And we will go into that
ride.
story. I'm not afraid of anything. I own it. There's
That
another-
one was a classic, but
another doozy that ended up me.
it was a great time, great story. But anyway, my first story will be Veranda when we're all done, because that's the one I sent the photos for your. Hopefully they got on your website, so you can see what I'm going to tell you people was just bizarre. And this is after several hours at Veranda. So anyway, that'll come up whenever I get a
After you
chance to
guys
talk.
drank them out of Guinness, and then you had to go to the store and get more?
Yes,
I remember that.
Two
Not the
separate
first
runs.
time.
Yeah, two separate runs, yeah.
that was fun. So I'll when I get a chance, I will tell this.
And I believe they are still they are up right now, but I'm going to add to it. Some of the pictures are there, along with the video of me going up the stair.
And the
Little ride.
Yeah.
Was on a
Because he
little
wanted to.
that on the
I go, did you need it? He goes, no, I just
it?
wanted to ride.
Yeah.
With the music,
magic carpet ride.
I don't know if the music's on
you were
there,
singing.
but
Maybe
oh
take
yeah.
someone to drink.
Last thing, Sandy. Yeah, he works from. Last thing I'm going to say, we missed you at the Super Bowl, and by the way, we had multiple pods set up for you. We're like, well, if we sit here, there's curtains. So we had them all set up, and then when you text, I was like, oh. We had all this mental thought on where we're going to sit you. 'Cause,
Next year.
Wherever you sit, Sandy, as you know, there's people around them that want to be around them. So I had to make room. I did all that.
The
So next
party.
year, you're in.
Christmas
Yeah.
party.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
Make the Christmas
that's
party.
one of the great things that is special about them, because they make a accommodation for me, and they're always willing to you need fry, you need this, you need this, and it's really special. And I'll get into some more detail about that. Tom, do you want to? He's been in St. John's for 5 days, eating lots of milk
You're
and
good.
cookies.
You're
So
good.
I think he's bruised a little bit, but he has always been a warlock his whole life, where he can recover from anything.
He's a machine.
Just
Any
home-
thoughts, my friend?
Just home from the new beaches.
No, I'd say to you guys, I feel like we've gotten a lot closer since
Absolutely.
you've done a really nice job of reaching out. I mean, I think Sandy's fielding your calls, and you guys are so accommodating too. You should have seen all the text messages coming from these guys. You were sick.
Yeah, from
Right?
Super Bowl hurt.
If these guys were texting about making sure you got there and how they were going to get you in, Pete offered a helicopter. I mean, no, I'm impressed. I mean, these are good dudes.
Remember to walk down the stairs to the Gurgie party?
Oh, yeah.
I said, there was cement, so I sat in front of him,
I scooped
step
down
by
my
step.
butt.
I go, he can't fall down, and I'm not going to grab him from behind. So I said, I'll sit in front, and we went seat by seat.
Scooted down.
And by the way, I did not help get you out of there, and I heard it didn't go quite as smooth.
Oh,
But I won't take
yeah.
the
We
blame
had,
for
we had
that.
one
I
miss.
All's well that ends
Fell
well.
on the grass.
I fell in the,
Soft, it was like
fell in the
slow
tree
motion.
lawn.
Well, the
Slow
problem was,
motion, man.
Sandy,
It's
the
like,
problem was I was the bartender, and we got into that apple.
Oh, the
Oh,
Crown
yeah.
Royal apple. It's a little bit for
I
Sandy, a
started
little bit
off
for Tim.
nice and easy, like I normally do, and just drinking a few beers, and then I saw the Crown Apple,
You saw it all right.
Then it was gone.
and then I started drinking Crown Apple on the rocks. That's it, the rest of the night.
Same.
And next you know, yeah.
It is funny because I hid the bottle, so there was enough for you. Because as soon as you had it, everyone's like, "What'd you got there?" I'm like, "It's gone."
I just kept drinking his.
Yeah, normally, if I have whiskey like this right here,
Oh, Jameson.
I gotta sip it because I always tell people when they bring it down, like, well, I'm allergic to whiskey, to the brown. They're like, really? I go, yeah, it makes me break out. Like, oh, what? I go, I break out like teeth and doors. It's funny, but these guys. I mean, it's been a lot of years. But again, the kids where we knew each other just peripherally, and you get to know and you have fun with them, and then of course going down to the Browns games, to the tailgates, which is
Gurgie
cool. These
tailgate.
guys put on quite a tailgate. Even though the Browns have sucked.
Just
And we're not going to have a conversation about the Browns. 'Cause we always partied on there, but I don't know if we really talked to Browns and what your expectations
Next
are.
year.
Weird.
Next year.
It's
It's
the year.
We'll think about that. But the what's really special is they were, even the last few years, when I got sick, they were offering to, help bring me down. And just when I'm there, they're taking care of me. And all this time they do this, but the reason it's been so meaningful to me is because over the last 4 years, it's been difficult. And, a lot of people were there and talking initially, because I was still okay and I was out and being seen. And it was fine. And then when things started getting a little not so good and I wasn't really out so much, past few years. And there's been a lot of people and who just sort of pulled back and who I didn't hear from. Well, I used to hear from I didn't hear from anyone, and that's fine. A lot of reasons I didn't want to hear from people. I was feeling that awful. It's just I'm so excited now because I'm feeling so damn good and feel like I've got another chance. So, I want to keep living every day to the fullest. But those times, and I've talked to a few people. There's a handful of people who were there throughout the years, always. Of course, Tom Lawrence, my best friend for 35 years, he's always there for me. And his family, and a handful of others, but a lot of people. I'm not going to talk about who, and it's not a big deal because I've talked to some people who would say that, you know why that is? Because they don't know what to say. And I get that. Because, who wants to deal with somebody who's been giving a death sentence, a terminal illness? I mean, this shit's bad. And it was tough to deal with. Again, I didn't want to talk to people, but then people started pulling back, and again, they didn't know what to say or do, and I get it. But then, even the past few years with the tailgates, but then these guys would kind of engaged. When people were not engaging, they were engaging. And from these little things to parties to get-togethers, that fucking meant the world to me. It's really hard to describe. So that makes me emotional. I think they're special guys, and I'm going to be around for a while. And we're going to keep doing a lot of this
Absolutely.
kind of shit.
Hey,
Cheers.
Well said.
All true, though, guys. All true.
And what
Sandy,
you, brother?
you're doing good. Hey, I'd say, if you don't mind me chiming in,
You go right ahead.
those people that maybe you're not hearing about are asking about you, though. I mean, everybody asks about you. Everybody's thinking about you and praying for you. I can't tell you how many times a day, somebody wants to know how you're doing. you know, so maybe it's sometimes when it seems like you're alone. Maybe there's people that are always
I
asking. thinking.
totally get that, and I'm not mad about it. But
You
it's
seemed a
something
little mad.
when you
I
think
felt
about
that
it,
you were a little upset there. You
yeah,
seemed-
yeah,
you sure?
fuck them, all right?
Gloves are off.
Jesus.
No, it's not because I get it because you're just like, what, I don't know what to say, and I get it, but then it makes you remember that much more the people who do,
Yeah.
and that's why it's so special. And so let's get into some funny stories.
So let me just interrupt real quick. So and if I hog the mic, I apologize. I've had a few pints. So one of the reasons that we always reach out, because I know you're here and we have all this going on, getting you out of here. So like for the first couple of times, we actually picked you up, and then for Tom's party, picked you up, and then Super I would have picked you up too. It's getting you to where we are, so you can get a relief from just, day to day. So that's why
And
to
Mary
us-
Beth a relief, maybe, too.
well, all the above, because people like to see you, and so I'll touch on the last tailgate, and this is when I realized how close you guys really were, because
This guy's something.
I don't know if you remember, but you were sitting by the corner, and it was time to go to the bathroom. So I helped you with your wheelchair, and we go over to the guardrail, and I sent you the photo.
That picture's on my website.
So you're over the guardrail, and here
This is
I
at the
am.
Browns tailgate.
Yeah, at the
Yeah.
Browns tailgate. Here, you're over the guardrail, hands over here, doing your business, and I'm trying to block the crowd, and he's taking a photo. I'm like,
That's good friendship.
clearly, you guys are tight. I go, literally, this guy.
That was classic.
That's what I'm like. Only a best friend could pull it off.
He's gotta
I'm
get
blocking
me a-
people from watching, and you're taking a photo.
It's on his
Anyhow.
website.
Yeah, believe me, there's,
Might not be the first picture you took like that.
and again, I believe most of them are on the website, but we'll have to do because there's some more videos and pictures that I'll get to Tyler's, so even throughout this, when this thing comes out. First off, there's going to be some music, so if you guys have any thoughts, I was thinking about some good Irish music and some St. Paddy's Day, but some, I don't know, we'll see what happens. And because I send that to him for a lot of podcasts, I tried to play stuff during it, and it was too difficult. So I just make a playlist, and he gets the sound right and plays that after it, and then, can put in some different pictures. While we're talking, and this thing comes out, and they mention these things, they can put the thing of the veranda. So since the veranda keeps going, why don't you just go ahead?
Well, I feel like I'm hogging the mic. so-
No,
Sorry.
believe me.
I don't
Me
think
and Sherry got a whole lot of stories. So I'm going to start going back to it.
No.
We just talked about one
I
earlier, but go
don't
ahead.
think you really need like background music or any distraction. You got a lot of type A1 personalities here. I don't think you have any like downtime here.
All right, so I'll give the quick veranda story, which I sent the photos yesterday. So I think the group of us, and I think that was just us, maybe one or two other people. So we had gone to veranda 4 months ago, 5 months ago, I don't remember. So several hours into the night, we're hitting a lot of this stuff. As I already mentioned, we drank them out of Guinness, and they had to go to the store. So in the meantime, Tom shows up, Tom Gurgi, and he's being very giving, and he gives us all swag from his company, Custom Fab. Good for
Thanks for the
cabinets,
plug. Thanks for the plug.
cabinets, all your cabinet needs.
Commercial stuff.
So
Go to the commercial.
So anyway, so Tom brings the swag. It's hoodies, it's t-shirts, whatever, hats. So the night goes on, and we start getting a little bit loose, and then we're like, hey, let's get a photo before it gets too late. So
And it was getting chilly though.
it was getting chilly.
In
So
Tom's
we're
defense,
outside.
it was getting
So
chilly.
prompt the hoodie. So
And the drinks were a-flowing.
they were flowing. So we all moved to this side of the table. So this is a two-sided laugh, because when I tell you I laughed so hard my stomach hurt, we go to this side of the table, and Tommy, me, and Tim are moving tables and chairs, and Tom Gurgi feels this is the time to get the swag on Sandy, so it's in the photo. So unbeknownst to us three, as we're moving chairs, Tom's trying to put a hoodie on Sandy.
He's got a contract.
Okay, so we don't even know this is going on, and we look over, and Tom can't get him over his glasses. And
that nose.
So then we start laughing so hard that and Tom notices laughing. We forget Sandy's stuck with the hoodie and his glasses, covering
Just the
him.
top of his head.
I'm just
So-
sitting there like, nah.
So then after we get done with a belly laugh, we pull the hoodie down, and it's on your website, the photos. So we pull it down, we take our photo, and then so then we have a few more drinks, and the lady who we asked to take the photo was one of these younger girls, millennials they call it, whatever. So she took like 100 photos. So we got to see the whole progression as we're talking. Gertie's trying to shove the damn hoodie on him, and he gets stuck on his glasses.
Shoehorning them in
and then there's
You're gonna be fine.
It could
Get
have
the
been
swag
5
on.
seconds. It could have been 30. Sandy's just sitting there with the hoodie here draped over him.
It wasn't a medium, was it?
It was just medium.
It was a
Anyway,
medium.
the photo string after the fact, I think we laughed harder because we didn't realize she was taping or filming every clip. That was, and then I think we laughed for at least an hour.
Yeah.
Next morning, I wake up, I thought I did an ab workout. I was like, oh my God. Anyway, that was one of the best.
So, well, some of those pictures are on there. I'm going to forward those separately to you because they're always fun to. So while this is playing, those shots.
Well, you could see him, the hoodie,
Those
and you
get
see
too
Tom
wild, but let's-
shamelessly trying to get this prop.
I think it was.
Wasn't a proud moment.
My logo's not showing. My logo's not
The
showing.
logo was on the backside of the sweatshirt, so he's also twisting his neck.
It wasn't meant to be.
He couldn't get over his glasses. It was stuck here. And the three of us are like, dude, this guy's got no, he wants to get that in the photo.
He was cold.
Anyway, that was fun. And thanks for the swag,
That's what you're
by the
doing.
way.
Was it
Stick
you
with the
wearing
US
swag
Army.
when you were on the?
Tom's a giver.
He's in the
On
photo.
the chair.
I think so.
Okay, well, then
Yeah,
flash that.
we're going to flash that onto this podcast to the video. But basically, it was you guys were out, and it was so nice because each one of them would wheel my ass in or give me guidance to the toilet. And once I get in there, then they help me get back through a crowd because it's always tough for me to do with crowds. And then at one point, Tom ended up taking me back, and there was somebody in the bathroom, and there was somebody waiting, and I think another person in line. And then I was like, well, there's one up there, but there's stairs, but there's one of those electrical chairs.
Costanza.
That goes up. I'm like, oh, I'm going to that. And so they're like, seriously? Oh, heck yes, I'm getting that. I get in there, and they put me in, and you'll see the video
Manager, he
when
was
it comes
super
up.
cool about it too. He knew the episode.
Good to
And as soon as
yeah.
Sandy mentioned it, he's like, "Here,
Yeah.
come on, sit down." I think he made him
Wait.
put a seatbelt on.
You did. We strapped him in.
6 steps.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
fact, Tyler, you should try to get both those images of George going up the stairs and Sandy.
Oh, side by side?
Sheena Easton, this my baby
That
takes
was from
someone on
the
the train.
Seinfeld when George
Sandy was
Costanza
singing
was
it.
pretending he was crippled, and that my baby takes the, and he's going up on the seat like I was, and I'm singing that song. Then we get to the top, I get off, and I'm still, I was not doing good, and I get into the bathroom. Somebody's in the stall, and I sit down pee now because I'm crippled. But I didn't manage to stand up, and all of a sudden my pants were down by my ankle. And I'm just sitting there like, I guess one, of course, there's a picture of that too.
Yeah.
Tom's in there, you got a good picture of that.
I've seen the pattern here.
There's a toilet and one urinal in there too.
Yeah.
So the guy, you're either waiting out in the hallway in the restaurant or you come into the bathroom. So the guy came in to wait in the bathroom and he had to turn, and then he saw Sandy with his hands up with his pants all the way at his ankle, and I was just standing there
Taking his photo.
What the hell is going on here?
like a low angle.
Right?
The guy's like, I'm gonna wait out. I'll wait out. In the
There was an
hall.
explanation for the
Wait
cops
out in the
later
hall.
on.
A quick side note, because at that point, again, it's so difficult for me to move and get up, but it hasn't been the last 4 days. Every little thing from moving to walking to getting up from the toilet to getting up from that bed in the morning, I just get up. Or I used to have to struggle and go like this. I just, I pop up. I took a shower again today, and it was easy. I mean, it's normally terrifying. It's the most terrifying part of my day. Talking, walking. I'm not shaking. I'm still shaking. I got a long way to go, but boy, I feel like I got a new start on things. It just makes it so damn exciting. So
I think you can hear it in your voice, Sandy.
yeah,
The way you talk.
it's amazing. So now we got to talk about, because I had forgotten about some of these stories with Timmy. I mean,
Me too, Bo.
the house on Sunset that you ain't leaving till you're heaving, that is brought back. I mean, so many of those. I'm going to set the table and you can fill. So this you probably remember better than I did
Oh,
because
I
I
don't.
was so
I really
fucking
don't.
annihilated some of these.
Yeah.
You know, it was just talking about what he did. Him and Michael lived on. Was it Osborne?
We did, right? Osborne, that was our bachelor
And
house
they'd have
together.
parties there. We'd start in the morning. Before then we'd sometimes venture downtown or somewhere
Doesn't
else.
sound like me,
flat
but
out.
okay, we'll go with it.
And then we'd end up back at Timmy's, and it was absolutely insane. But one year, I don't know, I share too much on this.
No, you go with it.
So I just told you, but let's just say my wife and I had left his nice little humble abode and went across the street in between two houses, and we were wrestling.
Wrestling.
We're
We're
wrestling.
wrestling.
Oh, the beast
We're
with two
wrestling,
backs.
and then all of a sudden our pants fell off, and I was winning. And then his neighbor came out
Is Lawrence taking your picture?
and somewhere. He was
I'm
somewhere.
like, son of a bitch, he's everywhere.
And then we came back. I think I went to try and tell you, and you were Michael, because I was.
Yeah.
I don't know if this guy was a douchebag or what, but I said, were your neighbors pretty?
It was
Okay,
like a
with the
94-year-old
sexual
woman. I don't know what you're talking about. I think she just said, when you're finished, I'm next.
Yeah, it was. They had some crazy parties, but it was fun. But
It was fun.
how long did you guys have the place on Sunset? That place was absolutely amazing.
Right. So we owned a house. My mom bought a house on Sunset in 1986, I want to say.
Sandusky,
Yeah.
right?
So, yeah, I was still in high school. So Maureen and I commuted from out there, which, and then we would live with our grandparents in
Wait,
Rocky
you
River.
lived there?
Yeah, we lived there. That was our full-time house.
didn't know that.
Yeah, because Michael was already in college, Colleen was already in college, but Maureen and I were still in high school. So that was our primary residence. But like I said, most of during the day or during the week, we'd stay at my grandparents in Rocky River. But Maureen, she commuted I did it for a year and a half. She did it for two and a half years. Yeah, which is, it is what it is. And Sandusky is such a beautiful area, especially for our family who loves boating so much. So, the winter times were a little bit iffy, and then the summer times were fantastic. But I think the one you ain't leaving till you're heaving party that we were talking about was we had the Dead Celebrities party, which I'm sure is politically as incorrect as possible, which wasn't really that big of a deal back in the 80s and 90s too. But all I know is I started off as Elvis Presley and I ended the night as JonBenet Ramsey. So it was one of those, yeah. There's pictures of that too, but I'm hopeful they don't come out. But you were a part of that, and with the whole gang, and I think people came in, like, say, there's a rack pack and coming in the mopeds and all sorts of different stupid stuff that we would do. And if you remember right, one of the things that is stupid, isn't it's going to sound here, but we used to get all liquored up, and then we would play Foursquare. Remember playing
Oh
Foursquare?
my God!
Yeah. I know, this sounds really, really stupid. So you play
What is
Foursquare.
Foursquare?
You know Foursquare from
Yeah,
your kid.
you hit the rubber
Yeah.
lead ball and throw
The
it.
red ball.
Yeah.
you know.
No, so you got so we get the volleyball.
Oh, you guys
and-
are a lot older than me.
Yeah, we're a little. So,
They didn't have cement in
Yeah,
Garfield Heights.
but our idea of
Like
Foursquare is a
charts.
little bit different because one, we were all liquored up, and my mom had this multicolored terry cloth topper, that you would wear to the beach. So we figured that that's what the king would wear. So remember, there's king, queen,
Yeah.
Joker or whatever, and then the jackass who's whatever, the last guy. But we would also put a cup in the very middle where the crisscross is. So as you're playing Foursquare, as you move up, if you get to the king spot, you get to put the multicolored terry cloth topper on.
toga.
And of course, it sounds kind of stupid now in our 50s, but back in our 30s, you're like, this is fantastic. So you would always want that. Now, by chance, as you're hitting the ball across to become the king and wear the terry cloth topper, if you knocked over the cup in the middle, you had to do a shot of Jägermeister.
Oh, boy.
Yes.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, so those were good times. Those are good times. And if you want to say, you probably remember those better than I do, Tim, and the answer would be, no, probably not.
What I do remember is waking up in the morning being like, you know, the way it felt in the movie Hangover when the one guy wakes up on the floor. And
Oh, that's what happens all the time out there, yeah.
That's what it was like. I'm on a couch. I'm like, what
Right.
the hell's going on? There's another couch pulled up here, and there's somebody sleeping. There's just people everywhere. I'm like, oh, okay, lay back down.
Dude, trust me, I tell you, you wake up in the morning, come, did Colleen punch Momo last night?
Yeah, there was,
Michael's our age, right?
Yeah.
Were
Yeah,
you going
Michael's,
to parties in Sandusky or is this on Osborne?
Well, Sandusky
No,
was back in the
the-
90s, so that would be shortly after we all graduated from college.
Oh, gotcha.
And then shortly after that, in 93, is when Michael and I bought a house together on Osborne behind St. Raphael's together as our first bachelor pad.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I guess really our only bachelor pad together.
yeah, that was.
So, yeah. Those were you're right, the St. Patrick's Day parties on Osborne were epic.
They were epic, to say the least.
The funny thing about it is, as stupid as it may sound, but we would have St. Patrick's Day parties, and of course we would invite all of our friends, and then we were all in our mid-20s, high 20s, stuff like that too. And then, you know, old people, like my mom and uncle and aunt, and and it just was one big,
Uncle Mike?
Uncle Mike, Aunt Kathy and the whole thing. So, but they would get the biggest kick. I forget who did this too, but somebody came with his girlfriend, and she was wearing like the kilt, and it was rather short and revealing too. And so she got up on the picnic table and lifted up her skirt too. And the gentleman, whoever brought it with, had one of those return things that said he stamped her. It said property of, and then he wrote his name in.
Nice.
Yes, my mom got a big kick out of that one.
Wasn't that Pete that was on your table St. Patrick's Day when he broke the glass? Was that him?
That was, oh yeah,
Different story.
that was a different story.
It's not my podcast. Stay on point, Tom.
I drifted a little bit.
Yeah.
I drifted.
Oh, yes, those
How
are
long
good
have
times.
you had that space down? Was that West 6th? technically?
That's Tom's spot.
West-
West
yeah.
Third.
West, all right,
That's
West
Tom's
Third.
spot.
Let's mess
West
it up.
Third
West
Summit.
Third.
We're back to the
A
tailgate.
good 10 years. in
Aren't you
lease.
also there? Don't you?
No, we
Well,
share.
we all
We
share.
share.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But it
That's two
started
spots.
with
Yeah,
him.
two
Just one
spots.
spot.
No, we just have
One
one.
Oh, yeah.
And you can't get any better.
You can't get in there.
Usually,
Oh,
I
no.
wanted to try and get one too.
I know.
Let's go,
They're
but then-
hard to come by,
All
hard
right.
to come by. So, but yeah, fortunately, again, have it done next year. So yeah, it's pretty,
As long as you
How
don't
many years
for-
you
as long
say?
as you don't
13?
forget.
at least 10. It's been at least 10.
Because you were down
maybe
in
15.
the pit before then.
It was the Port Authority. and then,
Authority,
and then
right.
they got
Down
rid
by
of
the
After
water.
9/11, they stopped parking people down Port Authority because of security.
So as long as you don't forget to renew it every year.
He won't
Right.
forget. We're on him.
yeah. Oh yeah.
No, he's not forgetting, because you can't replace it. And by the way, this is way better than the Port Authority.
Oh,
Because we
okay.
couldn't get out of there. It's down
Yeah.
in the pit.
Yeah.
And by the way, on a typical tailgate, I think Tom feeds 200 people. I mean,
That's
on
crazy.
a typical,
It's
he'll bring
insane.
40 burgers, 30 dog, 30 brats, and then we had all the finger foods.
It's about
It's-
bringing
it's-
everybody together, though, man.
It's amazing what they do, really, because I was offered, like, I'll just bring the very least a case of beer, but we offered Tom will go down, we just like, they got everything, and they feed not only half the homeless people down there who always come by and they're grabbing food, but just anyone in general. It's just,
Well, it's a perfect location
really,
for
it's
people
the
walking
best.
by and
Yeah.
stopping
yeah,
in. and
it's
stuff
really
like that.
unbelievable how, and again, I told you how great these guys were, but we've been doing that for years.
This is all Tom, by the way.
That's
No, it's
Yes, it is. This is
Closer and
Tom.
closer we got to them, I was like, this is so cool what they're doing. And of course, now we got, what were you gonna say?
Oh no.
The,
just brings everybody together. It's so
Yeah,
awesome.
it's very.
Families, kids, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
parents, and
Yeah.
And now all the kids are the drinking age, so our coolers are a lot fuller.
yeah.
So we don't drink just ours. We've got to have natties,
Yeah.
you know,
You
Bush
gotta have some
Lights.
High Noon.
you gotta
High
have-
Noon,
High Noon,
Claws.
exactly. Claw, yeah.
Well, and the kids all know where it's at now.
Well, everyone does.
yeah.
'cause not only-
My kids are like, oh,
yeah.
and they'll
We're
tell
stopping by
their
the
friends, like,
Gurgie
so
party,
they know
yeah.
we're going. There's going to be booze, there'll be food. It's just a party. It's
How
free.
many listeners do
woo.
you have? Let's pin the location. Let's put it up. Put it up. So now
But
we
it's
feed.
it's
Tom
amazing
will feed
how
350.
respectful the kids are.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, and appreciative and,
Yeah.
and thankful and,
And they-
yeah,
they don't-
they're so good, man.
We're
It's just great.
lucky to have
Great
the kids.
kids.
Again, like you said, with Cole, all our kids went to Ignatius or Ed's. Tommy and I, kids went to Ed's. Theirs went to Ignatius, but they're still friends.
And they,
with their friends.
right, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
It's
And
so,
Megs.
it's
The
it's
CYO
even-
hoops
makes it
from the
special,
beginning,
makes it even more
friendships.
special.
It's nice.
Yep.
Yeah, it's really cool, and it's just unique. I mean, I went to Bay, and do your kids
All
they go to
my
Bay
kids
up
went to
till-
Bay, and then they
Up to high
Dayton,
school, then they-
through high, and then University of Dayton.
Very cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's just the fact they get along, and
yeah. And
wasn't-
then
wasn't really like
and
that.
Cade and Tommy too.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah.
was
Same
it
thing.
Well, Megan
was
and
it like
Tommy went to
that
school
when you
together
were
all the way
at
up till
Ignatius? Did
eighth
you guys
grade.
get along
Yeah.
with it? Did you?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was great. I mean, that's a neat thing about Rayfield too, and then especially the community of Bay Village. You know, there's just so many great families. The church brings everybody kind of together. Maybe you're going to Bay or you're going to Rayfield, and then you play CYO hoops together, or you
Yeah.
play football together, whatever it may be, and then the families. You know, this guy are the greatest two people in the world when it comes time for making friends with the parents. You know, and then there's just great people. We've been really, really, really blessed to be surrounded by great people, which is one of the reasons I think we're here today.
Yeah, Sandy, I'll tell you this, when I left Chicago, my wife's like, hey, I want to go to Bay Village, which I knew nothing about. And I definitely never heard about St. Raphael's. So we did move to Bay and went to Raphael's. And I think it's one of the greatest things that's ever happened. Yeah, that's how I met all you guys. I mean,
Yeah.
we're all Raphael's. I mean, it's truly, I thank my wife. Trace, thank you if you're listening.
Very unique.
Trace, thank you.
Can I give a shout out to my wife Beth?
I'd like to get a shout out. I'd like to get a shout out to both Beth and Tracy, who are our designated drivers tonight.
Oh, yeah. Trace had the easy part. She dropped us off.
All right, hold on.
We'll
Hey,
be a lot
Carrie.
louder
All
on
right,
that.
hold on. Hey, Carrie, what's that? But you know, like I think a lot of families meet through school like that, and,
Yes.
and like you know, that's generally hanging out with those people because you're in the gym with them and you end up at events with
Yeah.
them. But I don't know. It seems like this age group, like our group, seem to be closer. I don't know. It's
And getting closer.
It's from things like your party and having you've
parties,
never
right.
invited me to. I haven't
you
been to
know.
your house.
You could be
yet.
my
We're-
plus
I'm
one
we're
on this
working-
side.
we're gonna
Right
work
there,
on
you're
it.
getting
We're working
right
on
on
it.
the edge, right on the edge.
But you know, like it's stuff like that that keeps people together. You got to arrange things like that. And
Yeah.
Sandy, you're actually helping to glue the whole thing back together.
Absolutely.
You don't know it, but you are. This is a good
Yeah.
group, man. It's a good group of people. It's a good group of friends, and we've stayed close. But
Yeah, it's Bay Village, having been born and raised there, is such a unique place. When we grew up, it was always kind of like it was in a bubble because it was just we had our own little happy lives. Nobody else. We didn't know what was really going on. I mean, I thought of Fairview.
you didn't even know what Fairview was.
Where Tom Lawrence was.
With the Mickey Mouse
Isn't
sweatshirt.
isn't that part of Parma where they had mullets and T-shirts and acid wash jeans? They a bunch
Yeah,
of.
It's close.
Yeah.
It's close.
Hang out at the mall.
But no, it's evolved. My wife loves it. We moved there. We first got married. First house was in Sandalwood Bay, which we loved. Moved you guys over a lot for our age. Love that place. She wants to eventually move back there, which is cool. Which I was going to ask, how you guys all live basically in the same little
3 doors.
all
Next door.
in Bay Village. Now, but you all built a new one.
Tom built his
tell me
own
about
house.
how
I had
that
my house built. He
transpired, 'cause
bought
I have not heard the
Well,
story. I really want-
so they were there forever, but we bought from probably another classmate of yours. Did you go to school with Tommy Sullivan and Mary
he's from
Frank?
Fairview.
Oh, that's right. That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, so we bought from Tommy
They built
and
it,
Mary.
though, right?
They built it.
They
Yeah.
built.
So these guys built there. We bought from Tommy and Mary Sullivan. And Mary Frayne, well, she's got to be around your class, right? No?
Yeah, because she grew up in Bay.
I'm so bad with names.
Yeah.
She was Rayfield's growing up because she's good friends. She's friends with my wife, and we're all friends with Tommy. Sullivan,
Yeah.
obviously. So, but these guys can answer. They built that.
I tell you, I don't know why you would ever want to move back there. This place is beautiful.
Oh, this
this
is
house is
so
unbelievable.
By the way, your
basement's
backyard
outstanding.
is
The
off the
backyard,
charts.
that
I would
patio.
say that
holy
patio
moly.
Tom comes over in the summer, he's like, I don't want to leave.
Yeah,
I don't either.
There's a nice
It
breeze
is.
blowing through
Oh,
there.
It's got a little lake
Great
over
view,
here.
nobody behind you.
Pond over
It's
there.
fantastic.
And a nice distance between you and the course.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
not like you're on
Yeah.
top of it.
Yeah.
So here's
I
what
gotta live next to Gurgey.
what we'll do this summer. We're going to do another podcast, an encore out there. Because
Nice.
when I had previous
Good
to this
idea.
podcast, we had Bob Conrad, Larry Wolf, Tom McIntyre, and Ken Rippich couldn't make it, but he wants to come back on. And they were like, they all look at us and said the same thing. We want to go there. We'll have back out.
Yeah.
We'll have Tyler come back, film
Absolutely.
outside. But we're going to be smoking cigars, drinking wine, drinking
nice.
scotch, and we will do the same thing out there.
Love
Okay.
it. Love
Right?
it.
That's going to be some fun
This
stuff.
place is beautiful.
So, looking forward to that. But who built the house?
I
Did you do a tear down?
So yeah, when we were in Rocky River for 5 years, my wife Beth and I, and then we were looking to go a little bit bigger. We were going on our third kid, and we had a realtor, and we were looking in River, Westlake, Fairview, whatever, and making that upgrade in River, kind of going over the tracks. If you want to call, it kind of gets expensive, and putting in a remodeling. So, anyways, our realtor found us a lot in Bay, which obviously there's not a lot of lots in Bay anymore. And there's a builder, and we couldn't come to agreement, but he was willing to sell the lot to me. So I ended up buying. There was a guy. So there was actually 3 lots. The guy owned a house. The builder tore it down and busted into 3 lots. So I bought one of the lots and ended up being my own general contractor. So this is probably about 3 or 4 years after Tommy and Mary Sullivan built theirs and house. So I was a couple years after them. So built my house, and then I was there, and then next thing you know, Tim, which started building yours, about a couple
04.
months later. 04, okay. I think Woody
Yeah,
moved
started
in
building
03.
04. Yeah.
Yeah. So best move we ever made with the friends and the community and these
That's a great
neighbors.
street.
It's a great street,
It's the people that make it great.
Yeah, and the neighbors we have
Did the
are
house build?
unbelievable.
Did you say?
Helps
Yeah,
my
helps build
neighbor.
If you
too,
look
yeah.
at your house, they're on the right.
They're across the street from me.
If you're sitting on my house, they're my left.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Tom's straight
yeah.
across the street.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So, yeah, and blessed neighbors, man. That's for sure.
Yeah, you know who built that? The Sullivans in the Health House?
Caldwell.
Yeah, Jim Caldwell.
Jim
Another
Caldwell?
big kid. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, God
That's
rest
who I
his
bought
soul.
the lot from.
Nice.
He was Aberdeen Homes or something.
Yeah.
And Hammerschmidt built your homes.
Yeah, so what happens is Caldwell was going to sell those lots and stuff because he was doing stuff on the east side. And so then, so I inquired about buying just the lot. Tom inquired about buying the lot, and then he bought the lot. And by the time I decided I wanted to buy the lot, he had sold the lot, my lot, and the one behind it to the Hammerschmidt kids.
That's right.
More big kids, more big guys. So they built my house. They custom built my house, and they built the spec house behind me.
Right.
They did a great job. They were 2 good guys, and we got along really well, and they did a good job. So, but we're blessed to be there, and it has been just fantastic being in that neighborhood and around great people like these 2 guys.
So Sandy, you grew up in Bay, so my wife did as well. So she tells me where our houses are was your big party spot.
There's all woods, right? It's a dead end.
Tracy told me you guys,
Yeah, it was.
they would always go to our neighborhood.
She was younger.
She's 88
You're
from
younger
high
than
school.
me.
Yeah, I'm 85.
Right,
I'm
she's 3
85.
I
years
didn't
younger.
realize you were 80. I thought you were like, I know me and Michael were the same. I
It's
thought
the
you were like
hairline.
1 year behind.
Come on, bring it in there.
It's a good look.
Damn it.
It's a good look. Works well for me.
You wear it well.
So that would have been more like my sister.
Liz.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and well, she knows your
But it was
sister,
the same. I mean,
but they all partied
We don't know
in
each
those
other.
woods, she told me. Everyone, so when they built these houses, they built where all their fun was.
Yeah, because it was a dead end and woods.
It did. It stopped. Yeah.
It was,
we had some
yeah.
different areas where we found to party, and several of them were in Avon Lake off of Lake Road. We found it.
Did you go
It's
down
all
by
houses
Big
now.
Boat Club too? Did you party down there?
Occasionally, anywhere. We'd find a place or we'd create one, and it was insane. We had so much fun there, and
High school was in Cash Lamar, wasn't it?
oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
But my senior year of high school, my dad built a place. The Cashmere, the old
Oh, hospital where Sam
hospital
Shepard worked.
where
Yeah.
Sam Shepard
right?
was at. Yeah. So I had some parties there too that would
Yeah.
I'm sure you did.
Oh, yeah. I took a sophomore at BG.
What did you guys call the house? Then you moved to the Lake Road down from O'Reilly.
Party Palace.
The Party Palace. So there's a lot of after-hour parties at the Party Palace.
Well, my parents would basically, it was Mike Babb's house. Old center.
Yeah, Browns
Football
life.
player, yeah.
And they bought it. And this was back when I was just graduating from college. And we lived there. And even Mary Beth at the time, her senior year, I graduated her senior year of college. Her parents moved to London, England. So she lived in the summer with us. And my mom's like, yeah, you guys can just sleep in here.
How'd you pull that off?
And that's like, she's going to let us sleep together? I'm like, she's like, yeah, whatever. I mean, she's yeah.
Obviously.
Although there's some stories I will tell you that I won't tell them. Let's just say, I've got some
You've
other
already
stories.
told one wrestling
Let's
story
just say
tonight.
our bedroom was right here, and it was right above my parents' bedroom. So just say there were noises on occasion happening.
We hung out at that house a few times. Sandy's dad would spend some time there. He had an office there. It's a beautiful house. And Sandy's dad is still an intimidating guy. Have you guys met him? He's an intimidating dude who's done very well in his life, but he takes no shit from anybody. And we were hanging out one Saturday night, and I don't know, we were in this room. We thought we were, it's a big enough house, and we thought we were there alone. And we were kind of talking about old television shows we used to watch, and then we started talking about Starsky and Hutch, and then there was Sandy's dad had like a phone, like a regular phone, like the dialing phone. You remember how Starsky used to slam it? He was to slam the phone and then yell Starsky. So I'm like, I hit the phone, I hit it, and I pick it up, and I go, Starsky. And Sandy's dad goes, get the f off the phone. I gotta go. I'm not going to wait for him.
This is Craig Notarini, sorry.
They call me Noter. But I am leaving, sir.
Sorry, it's Noter, bye.
That's pretty funny stuff.
Yeah, we stayed up late in that house a few times.
It was definitely the party palace because my parents would basically go to Florida for the winter.
Where was the Party
boy.
Palace? Yeah.
So it's just me.
When you were in high school?
No.
I had just graduated from college.
Oh, college,
Yeah.
okay.
I didn't know what the fuck I was going to do. I was still trying to figure it out. And of course, all these guys from Michael and Timmy was still in
Yeah, I 2
college.
years here after that. But I came home and partaked a little
You
bit.
could, everyone, it just became the party palace. Sorry, Mom and Dad, but I think you eventually knew because there would be people up at all hours till 6 in the morning. The sun's coming up and there's music blasting. We're playing cards. I'm like, yeah. And it was insane. Boy, some of those nights. Wow. So, anyway, it's this has been really amazing. Not only because of how fucking awesome I feel and how much more I can't wait to do more of these, but how special these guys have become and how I know how special things are going forward. And we're going to have so many more stories to share with all the one of the Browns games. We didn't really talk about the Browns, but it's not a whole lot to say. But they were to fucking put up a shut up this year, and we'll see what happens. So before we're getting close to the end here, but before any closing thoughts from anyone?
No, I'm looking forward to the next one outside, man, on the patio for sure.
Yes.
Thanks for having us.
We'll have more food. Maybe we'll do a little cookout.
Oh, yeah.
I'll bring the cigars.
We could set up on
Cigars.
we could set up on the tee box.
Wine.
Yeah.
Set up on the tee box, play.
Charcuterie.
Right?
So just to understand, how long have we been on?
Wow.
Got to be kidding me.
Yeah, we're babbling, man.
I asked you, I'm like, you said 30 minutes? I had no idea.
Yeah.
50-some minutes?
I knew it because I'm like, I was checking. I'm like, time just goes because there's
That
no.
is the
you don't
fastest
need-
50 minutes.
You don't need a
Script.
script.
Right,
no.
right.
I have a few talking points, and when you go, and it's just sort of
Just so you get
goes.
some-
I mean, can you? It'll be close to an hour by the time we're
Yeah.
yapping right here. Isn't that amazing?
So to
Every
reiterate,
time.
you started off talking about a golf outing.
Yeah.
So is
July
it locked in stone at a date, July 17th?
July 17th
Put that on.
in Elyria Country at Elyria
nice.
Country Club.
Okay.
Good trash.
scramble type thing?
I'm
We're not
not
all
sure.
scratch golfers.
He sucks.
It'll probably probably scramble, but I may. Some guys who like to play, it's a great golf course, might be do a best ball, but more than likely it's going to be scramble. It's
Right.
just fun and a
You
party.
get, yeah. I
There'll
can't
be-
wait.
There'll be tickets. There'll be silent auctions. There'll be
Awesome.
you know lunch before, dinner after, and
It'll be
maybe a
great.
band. I don't know. We're going to try
So
and get
is that
sponsors.
a
and shit.
Monday? July 17th?
Monday,
Okay.
July 17th.
So Sandy, will you have something that we can send out?
Yeah.
So we
I
can,
literally, I just sent an email to the lady. I was never saw getting a place, quite frankly, because they're all.
how about right here in your backyard?
Well, I thought about that, but I wanted to do something really nice and nice golf course.
That's a
Larry
great
has
course.
a pretty nice.
Yeah.
You ever
Real
been to their
nice.
clam bakes?
Yeah. Oh, those are nice. The
That's
lobster.
debauchery.
Yeah.
I mean, the amount of butter
Oh, yeah.
from the steak and the lobster and the event. They have a nice place, a nice big ballroom, so they have everything right there, which would be very cool. So, but more details to come. We're going to try and get more sponsors. I mean, Tommy's helping.
Yeah.
Tommy's doing another.
We'll get you some
Like-
custom
like
bags,
whole-
some
whole
swag
sponsors
from
type
Custom
stuff?
Fab.
Yeah, like a regular,
nice
regular
pullover.
outing. We'll do the whole thing, but
Yeah.
we also wanted to do something that'll probably be like more like a fall thing. Might even be like a clam bake. But we wanted to do something more like just like a straight up wedding. Like get fancy, you show up at this thing, and we'll just have an event. That'll mainly be focused on trying to get this. We talked about the wheelchair. You guys already said you're in. I got
Yeah.
800 people that want to be a part of chipping in for wheelchair to pimp Sandy's. I was going to tell a story about when we went to your last tailgate. It was a struggle in this wheelchair of Sandy. It's not really a wheelchair, but I remember
This
a
way
while
you went
ago.
actually into the game.
You went
Yeah,
in
we went
early.
into the
You went
game.
And you
before
stayed
games
till the
started.
end.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it was,
yeah,
you know, you
against,
don't really realize
San Diego.
how bad the condition of roads, sidewalks are. I mean, I once dumped them like five
once,
times.
several times.
Well, I
You
think
hit
I
bumper.
did dump it once. But he just
Norberg,
shoots right out of it as soon as it catches,
Right.
you know. But Sandy has been reluctant, you guys know, to you know. So we're gonna pimp him out in a wheelchair, probably a Brown's wheelchair. It'll have a fart machine on it. He's gonna have a disco ball.
There'll be flames. There'll be.
He's gonna
music,
wanna
there'll
be in it.
microphone. There'll be Mr. Microphone. There'll be
Yeah.
tunes, a pisser, a cooler.
But
Yeah.
we'll just have a party for that, and then
Yeah, that
everybody
sounds good.
chips in, and you know, right.
Sounds
so
And the
it'll
funny
be easy.
thing was, I've been talking about that with the tool, and I've been sort of reserving myself to the fact that, yeah, I'm trying to embrace what I thought was the inevitable, which is me continuing to fade away and this disease progress like it has. I'm not thinking that way anymore.
It's nice.
I'm still gonna need a wheelchair because to deal with crowds, because I want to fuck shit up. I want to go to the Browns game. I want to go to concerts. I want to go to bars. And I'm doing better, doing phenomenal mentally, emotionally, physically. It's been such a fucking struggle, but it's getting better. But still, you know, I need a little bump. I'm going down. So I still want to have that thing to power through anything. So I still want to get it.
Yeah.
And I want to get something else too for like eventually the beach.
That was a pretty cool.
We
thing
saw
there
that thing
before,
you were
yeah.
at. Whatever,
I
I
was
off-roaded.
doing donuts and thing like, yeah, motherfuckers. It was so damn fun. So I want to keep doing those things because I probably still need them, but I don't think this is a death sentence anymore. I believe that 100% that I'm going to beat this thing. I'm not like I'm going to be doing jumping jacks and, you know, trying to get my tour card on the Champions Tour. But you know, maybe even this summer I'll be able to actually go hit a ceremonial ball at this golf
gonna be
tournament.
great.
You know, maybe I
You
can
will.
just
I'm sure you
let
will.
my ass out there. But thanks again, guys. This
Thank
has
you.
been amazing. We're going to do it again.
What a great day.
Yeah.
Out
Cheers.
here.
Cheers.
Hey, cheers.
Cheers.
Value your
Thanks for having
friendship.
us.
We love you, Sandy.
Doing great, Sandy.
Cheers, guys.
And we're most likely going to have a
Thanks,
picture of
love
you taking a pee from Lawrence later on.
All right, thanks, everyone. We got more episodes coming up. Take care.